Yuva Kendra, what you call CHYK. As I mentioned, that all our grassroots level activities or projects, they must be in line with the main vision and motto of our mission. Our specific field may be different, the activity may be different, but our goal is the same. From childhood up to the old age. So what we have to see that what we learn, what we do, bring change in us in positive direction, and also that help other people around us. Our life must be one of service. Now we come to the Yuva Kendra. Now it is youth. Practicality we have to see. Our motto is harnessing youth potential through dynamic spirituality. That shows that each one of us has potentials. What do you mean by that? Potentials to achieve things in our life. Each one of us has got potential. Now the question is, what do we want to achieve? And how do we want to achieve it? That's all there is there. Now, for example, a student, now he wants to achieve what we call success in his exams. So it is very clear what he wants to achieve. Now he has the potential to achieve that or not? Of course he has. But the question is, how does he achieve it? One is, while writing the exams, he also keeps a gun. That nobody should say anything to him. Or a knife. Or when the examination is over, he works very hard to find out who is the examiner of all the papers. And then he pursues that and goes there. And by threatening or by bribing or other things, or copying, so many ways are there. He gets that. Great potential. Now, do you think that is a very wonderful thing? So we don't consider that as something great. So it is achieved, and the potential is also very wonderful, but this is not considered as great. So the point is, what do we want to achieve? In which field we want to achieve? All of us have got that freedom. We can choose our field. Clear? We can choose our field. See, when you come to Chinmay mission, Yuva Kendra doesn't mean all of you have to become brahmacharis or something. Because that also some people have got that notion. And sometimes the parents are also worried about that. So it is not so. What is the purpose here is to give you all that which is necessary to achieve success in whichever field you want to achieve. Okay? So now you have to see that. So all of us have got that freedom to set our goal, and we have our abilities, faculties, potentialities to achieve that. So you set the goal, whatever you want. Alright? But the next thing is, even if that goal is achieved, how do you want to achieve it? Because there are tamasic ways, rajasic ways, and there are sattvic ways of achieving that. So when we say harnessing this potential through dynamic spirituality, what we mean by that is we have to harness our potential through sattvic methods. Not illegally, immoral and such kind of methods, but the sattvic methods. Now, how to do that, I'll tell you. Now, because many of our youths are still in our student life, or when we will be teaching, they also will be in student life. So what we will do is, what is called the long-term goal, what is called the ultimate goal, and what is called the immediate goal. So ultimate goal, long-term goal, and the immediate goal, they all must be in one line. Now I'll tell you an example. Okay? So now when you are a student, what is your immediate goal? Whichever you are studying, whatever subject you are studying, the first thing is that you must study that subject very well and clear those exams. That is the immediate goal. But the question is, why do you want to do that? Passing the exam and all that. Oh, Swami is simple. I have to get a degree. Why? Job. Very good. And people are very strange. They have degree in one subject, job is a totally different, which has no connection whatsoever. Isn't it? So the thing is that first your duty is to acquire great proficiency in your subject. Right? That is called learning. And the next step is that what you learn, that knowledge only must be practiced efficiently. So what's called learning, there is called applying. Using that knowledge. Now again here also, why do you have to use that knowledge? Now here comes that. One is simple, money. Of course money is required. There is nothing wrong in earning money, because you need that money, right? But if you make that alone as your objective, then there will be a problem. So that knowledge must be effectively used, but the attitude must be of service. See, when you say harnessing youth potential through dynamic spirituality means, first whatever you are doing, that you must do well. So first is of the study, then the applying. I always remember one joke which long time back I had heard. I have told it also some place, some of you might have heard also. There was a person who learnt all medicine and he was a doctor also. Then one patient came to him. So he asked, what are your symptoms? What is wrong? So he told certain things. Then the doctor asked, do you feel very tired when you get up? Yes. Do you feel very dizzy also? Yeah, doctor, yes. I feel very dizzy, giddy. You feel like throwing up? Yeah, every morning, I don't know why that nausea is there. I don't know. Doctor, what is wrong with me? Doctor say, I really do not know because the same thing happens to me also. What is the use of such knowledge of medicines? Only thing that doctor can't do is diagnose the disease. Everything else he knows about the medicine. So that is not very wonderful. So now you will find there are some people, doctor, very, very efficient. But such money-minded, no compunction, no compassion or anything like that. So then even very, very efficient and expert, but that also is not spirituality. You have got every right to charge your fees and all that. There is no problem about that. But how much and what is that? Actually speaking, when they finish their medical studies, they have to take oaths that they will be doing this for service. So spirituality means what? When you gather knowledge, at that time also you know that I am gaining this knowledge so that I can serve someone effectively. Okay? Now that service also is made for what? So my immediate goal is to acquire all knowledge. My long term is so that if I acquire that knowledge, I can serve better. What will happen by that service? And that service also, if it is done in the right attitude, and this is my worship of God, then what happens is your mind is purified. Mind is purified means you become free from your personal likes and dislikes. Mind becomes pure means you get more and more control and mastery over your mind, senses. Otherwise, the mind rules over us. Now, this is a long-term goal. And then the highest is ultimate. What is my ultimate goal? Is to realize the highest truth, the supreme truth of my life, of this world. So now what happened? Spirituality is what? The final, that's why first thing I said, not only whatever is seen, that alone is, I think, considered real, but what is more than visible, material, tangible, also there is a reality, what is called that supreme truth. I believe that such truth exists and that is my own nature. So that realization of truth is my goal. That is the ultimate goal of life. To achieve that, what is the long-term goal? So I have to serve. But even you have to serve, I must have the right ability and knowledge and everything to serve. For example, I saw someone was drowning in the river and I wanted to serve him. To say, and myself don't know how to swim. And then I want to save him. What will happen? If he had any chance of survival, that also will go away. I must know how to do that. Because even if I want to serve, I tell you the field of service is not that very easy. One is called the attitude of service spirit and one is called the actual any particular specific field. Now somebody comes to me about some knowledge which I don't have, I cannot serve in that. So whichever field I choose then, I must be good in that. That is called spirituality. And that is called harnessing. Remember, all of us have got potentials. But remember, the the potentials manifest only when they have something to achieve. Otherwise they don't. Isn't it true? A boy said, I am always successful because I keep my goal very low. So even if I want, I can't fail. Now, in order to achieve that goal, he doesn't need much potential from that. How much? This is simple thing. Now, if I have to lift this wristwatch, how much strength or energy I will have to apply? But if I have to lift this harmonium, then I have to apply more strength. And I have that. But if I don't use, so the rule is use it or lose it. If you don't use your all potentials, then you lose it completely. Right? Whatever I have spoken to you today is not different from what I spoke to you yesterday. I was speaking to you that in our life we have to do two things. One is called face the life as it comes, and second to build our life as we want. Isn't it? For both of that we require potentials, and we must know how to do that. So as I said, we have potentials, but they become manifest only when we have something to achieve. There was a fat man. He never thought he could run. Then one dog was chasing him one day. And then suddenly he found that he could run like anything. Because his survival was the goal. Only survival was the goal, so you see how he ran. Then, if you are going something to achieve, then the manifestations will be there of all our potentials. Our physical or emotional or all those things will be there with us. There is no doubt about it. So when we say you have to have a vision, vision means what do you want to achieve in your life? Now I come to this point. It may appear scattered, but I am just bringing them together only. So yesterday I said you have to face life and you have to build life. Now you have to build life. Then also I say what are the stages there? Our problem is what do you want to become, that itself is not very clear. Now in that also there are two aspects. Generally I ask, what do you want to become? The school students or the university? Everyone has got definite answers. What they will do? If I ask you, all of you, only few fields are there. Right? Either it is a science, or there is a arts, or there is a commerce, or there are different kinds of combinations. And then I want to become doctor, an engineer, and scientist, artist, political leader, or a great musician, or whatever is that. I ask, but that is one thing. But more important than that is what kind of person you want to become. I say, what do you want to become? That is your immediate, in life, you want to become a doctor or an engineer and all that. That is one thing. But what kind of person you want to become? There comes the vision of life. What kind of person? You have to become a person of values or valuables. I must have many things. Right? So I want to be valuable, very expensive, all kind of things with me. You have to become that person. or you want to become a man of values and some character. Right? This is a common fundamental. What Chinmay Mission or Chinmay Yuva Kendra gives you is this foundation for your life. You become anything that you want to become in your specific field. But then you will be a man of some character standing. You know, I read a very beautiful sentence the other day. Where you sit depends upon where you stand. What is that? Where you sit depends on where you stand. What is this sitting and standing? In which chair you sit? Oh, plastic. No. Do you sit in the Prime Minister post? Or which chair you sit there? Which position you sit there? That also will depend upon where you stand. What are the things you stand for? Isn't it? See, we find there are so many people who may not be having any kind of particular chair of power as such, and still they wield all power wherever they move. How does it happen? Because it stands for what is that for which a person stands. Okay? So then, that must be the common, isn't it? Whatever profession, whatever business, whatever form of livelihood you may choose. That is one thing. But everywhere, if you are a person of values, then you will be a different person in that field, including politics. I read in Mahatma Gandhi's life biography also, he said his goal was Ishwar Darshan, Atma Jnana, self-knowledge. He said including political activity. His goal was that. So as youth, we have to face life and have to build life. For both, what we need is a clear vision of our life as a whole. So my vision, when you say spirituality, that I have to realize what the highest truth is. That is my ultimate goal. For that I must have the purity of mind and knowledge that I will get through by the service and worship of God. And of course the scriptural study that will give me knowledge. And the immediate goal also must be in line with that. So they are not two, three different goals. They are one only. I read about Lokmanya Tilak also. He wanted to, fight for the freedom of the nation. And as a young man, his health was not good. So 1 year he took leave from all his studies and everything. But and he dedicated to build his health. But now see, that time which he devoted to build that health, not to become a wrestler. But that was, his vision was very clear. That because when you want to serve or you want to achieve any goal and you want all that, sick leave, so what will you do? Every day you take sick leave from the office and all. You can't do anything. So that what he did that also was for the ultimate goal. right? So they have all this spiritual vision of life. They know that this is the goal now, I want freedom of the nation. For that I must have all these good health and learning and everything in one line. This is called harnessing youth potential through dynamic spirituality. So the spirituality, one aspect is realization of our own self. And the other aspect is that self is the self of all beings, and therefore I feel for all. I feel, and what feel? Actually only love and respect, and that only I feel for everybody. That is the aspect of spirituality. It may sound, sometimes it is very subtle or impractical, but it is not so. That's how we are living our life. As a family, mother, father, how much they do for their children is only because they feel the oneness with the children and the whole family. So whatever smaller or greater level all of us are practicing, then only it is working. The spiritual principles are only followed. Oh. So this is the vision of our CHYK. So our aim is to empower this youth with this holistic vision and values of life, so that they live their life successfully in every respect. You know, sometimes some people are successful only in a particular field. Right? You know, for example, even some sportsmen, in the sports field they are most wonderful, but you know, what about their behavior and what are their habits? Even on this ground also, how do they act sometimes? Then you think he is a very good player, but not a good person yet. Possible or not? Then that's not called success. It is said a man may be worth $1 billion and still can be a worthless person. So we want to have success in its totality. Not only just one-sided, you just do one thing very wonderful. And that is the reason why we have all this program of CHYK to translate this vision into action. What is our vision there? Already I said, is harnessing youth potential through dynamic spirituality. So spirituality, one aspect of that is to realize our own self. Other aspect is to know our oneness with all others. Right? Then with this idea in mind, we have to do all other our activities. I told you, even keeping good health. And in that field you can serve. Now how to do this? So now our CHYK program is there. Because this thing you must understand. The first thing what we do, that all of you must form study classes. Because how to do practically. Now I have told all about the principles and all. How to do practically. So first thing important is to know. Anything you want to do, you must know. What is required is knowledge. You have to learn even cooking. You have to know how to cook. What to cook. how much to cook. You know, it is not only just cooking, but there are so many other things also involved in that. So what is that? This knowledge will come only through study. Therefore, first thing that you have to do is study. Therefore, we have got a scheme of study. And this, during this course, we have been talking to you about all that, right? And it will be taught also. So first is study. And that study must be done very regularly. About that, all that also will be said. But you must study. You must have that book, study at home, come prepared, so that follow that scheme. Then, by that study you will learn. Even Shankaracharya ji has written in the Sadhana Panchakam, the first instruction is Vedo Nityam Adhiyatam. You must study the Vedas every day. The idea is that Vedas will give you the goal of life, the means of life, the way, and every day we must study because we are very good at forgetting. Very, very. Professor was traveling. A ticket checker came, conductor, wherever a ticket, and he couldn't find his ticket. In his briefcase, in his pocket, nowhere he could find. That conductor was kind enough. He said, okay, forget about it. You must be having a ticket somewhere. Don't bother. He said, don't bother, that is all right for you, but I have to find a ticket because I don't know where I have to get down. He has forgotten where is he going. He forget. So, a study is required. So that study gives this. I know, generally I have found that these youth, they don't like to study. They study class and all that. You do something. Do something. But do what? Why? How? You have to know it. Or something new you have to do. And they want to give you a surprise. I will give you an example of one center. Because who has studied sometimes they want to do something about it. 9-story building. And our mission center was in that building. Just suddenly what they found, on the top of the building, there is this Om, and at night also it shines. What is that? Neon light in that. And they felt, we have done it. And all the elderly people of the mission were very unhappy. So they were very angry with this. These old people never appreciate anything and all that. And then we have put our home there, so much of, we spent money, we did everything and all that. Now what happened? The old people, older generation, they are unhappy, but they also did not know how to express it. Now that matter came to me, because ultimately it comes to me what to do. Anyone who is the head of the organization, all these things also will come to me. So they were saying, nobody appreciated this. Or in the night time also, anywhere from where you can see that Om and all in my mission, and what is that? They don't have. I said, oh, that is really wonderful. But you know why they are unhappy, or I will tell you. First of all, tell me, in this whole building there is a what you call a society also, or not? Housing society. Yeah. Did you take their permission? So this society doesn't know that you are doing anything there on that. Did you take permission from the corporation or other authorities? No. Do you know many times the planes fly, isn't it? And if it is coming on that aerial route, and what is the height of all that, you know, the aerial route, these people also have to clear that. You know. That's why even in Bangalore, our hospital, one floor we had to cut down because it's coming on that route. Now, for the pilots is here something there. Huh? So they started, yeah, yes. Then, while putting all this there on the top, suppose an accident had taken place and the man falling down, then, so now they start getting fright. At that time, who will be responsible? Because it is a executive committee of the mission, that only will have to answer, isn't it? Now what happened in committee, we also could not explain all these things, only just what did you do? So you wanted to do that is very good. But don't try to give shocking surprises. If you want to give some pleasant surprise is fine. But when this kind of thing happens, then you are surprised, then you get a shock. You wanted to give a surprise, then you are surprised. This is the true story I am telling you. What I mean, you must have knowledge first. Then only you have to know what action is to be taken. One story I would like to tell you is Ramayana. It is there in Valmiki Ramayana. Rama's army reached Lanka. And one day Sugriva saw Ravana there on the terrace of his barrack. And suddenly he got so he just jumped directly to fight with Ravana. Who? Sugriva. Now, Sugriva is no match for Ravana, you know. Out of good intention and love for Rama and all that, he did that. What a terrible mistake. And Ravana, and then this Sugriva could not stand there. Somehow he went under the armpit of Ravana and he bit there and did something that Ravana was, oh, what happened? And he escaped from there. And Rama looked at him. This is a very beautiful section that where how Rama chided that Sugriva with love and affection but with firmness. And what you did was not becoming of a king. Huh? You are supposed to be the king of all these monkey forces you have come here. And what a foolish thing. He narrates how hard mistakes all that were there. He said, I know that you did all because of love for me. But you did not think of all consequences. Anyway, so my point is, pay attention to your studies. So So when you study these scriptures or the scheme, then you understand all these points clearly, and then you should have some activity. Now that activity can be only a time-bound activity. Like for example, like blood donation camp is there, or you organize a cultural show, or some educational program, or even organize a jnana yajna for a swami. Then it is an event. So in that what you will learn how to come together, how to think, and even differences are there, how to sort out all differences. There also how to plan, how to execute, how to mobilize resources, and how to do actual work. And then who will do what, who is good in what, that work must be given to that person, and then you learn slowly to work together. Then you will find your so many potentials also will manifest there. A simple thing also you have to do, you have to plan first. Then you have to do, who will execute it? And how many resources will be required? What resources will be required? And who will do the actual work also? Somebody is good in this, somebody is good in that. So the principle is yo yasmin karmani kushalaha satasmin neva yogtavyaha. Whoever is skillful and expert in a particular work, that person must be employed in that work. What happens is the person who does not know that job and that work is given to him or her, and that work is not done, everybody gets confused. Whatever you did not do that one. But if that person, but I was telling you, I don't know that. But you gave me only that. I don't know dance. You asked me to dance. I did circus. All these things you learn. So all that program can be in the medical field, educational field, spiritual, religious, cultural, and all that. Then every time you can improve upon that. I remember when even in Mumbai when they had first only what you call this CHYK song night. It was very simple. All were sitting there and then and they sang only bhajans. Then they improved upon that. So as the song says, behind that the slides, appropriate slides also were shown on different themes. Then in between some dance also was there, and so then slowly it became more and more beautiful. You become more and more creative. But one thing is, whenever you do every work in Chinmay Yuva Kendra, please do work at home also. Some people don't do anything at home, so we receive complaints. Or their educational performance goes on falling down. It should not happen. That if you come to Yuva Kendra classes, your performance in your profession, your business, in your field must improve. Then you say, how he has learned this? Where did he learn this? This is our vision. Now, a few minutes I'll take to speak to you on this about harnessing youth potential through dynamic spirituality. And there is one very beautiful shloka in Vishnu Sahasranam. So we become very dynamic. You know, the shloka is Ishvaro Vikrami Dhanvi Medhavi Vikramakramaha Anuttamo Duradharsha Kritatnya Kritirapmavan. Those of you who read Vishnu Sahasranam, they must have read and heard this. See, every name is indicating the Lord. Remember, Ishwaraha, the Lord. Vikramaha, Dhanvi. Every word is indicating the Lord Bhagavan Vishnu. Okay? But who is Vishnu? Vishnu is the Lord and He is there in the hearts of all beings. Therefore that Lord is there in my heart also. So if He has got those qualities, then I also will have qualities or not. At least some measure. So Ishwaraha. So when you become Ishwara, Lord. Lord does not necessarily mean Lord of the universe or anything. But isn't it true that someone who is a very great sports person, he becomes the Lord of that sport or not? The moment that name is taken, people go there to watch him. I had heard about some very, very good batsman of England team, I think. And then when the people used to go to watch him, and that day when he went to play, he got out immediately on his first ball only. But he didn't leave the field. He was clean bowled, but he didn't leave. He put again all these stumps. What? He said, you ball, people have come to see me batting. After all, he's the Lord. See what happened? The Lord is there in the field of sports or the music. You know, there are some wonderful such. Sometimes the accompanying people are so great that more than the main artist, they come to listen to that accompanying artist. Isn't it true? Because they become Ishwar automatically. Whether it is art, science. Now when it is science and Einstein's name you take, is Ishwar or not? Everybody has to answer. So dynamic spirituality, when you achieve that, whichever field you be. But when that field is mentioned, that person's name on. Now, when it comes to Gita, Jnana, Yajna, Prachar, our Gurudev's names automatically come there. Everybody accepts it. So what the point is, it's called Ishvara. Why become that Ishvara? You know what? Vikrami. Vikrami means what? The one who is able to set standards and record. Establish record. You know, in the Olympic, what happens? Sometimes the people break their own records also earlier time. The fast running. Who is that one person who is running now 2 days back? Bolt. So they are setting record, Vikrami. Those who are capable of setting records, and sometimes nobody is able to break that. Now like the Brandman who made so many centuries in few number of test matches. Even though there may be somebody who has made more centuries, but his record is still there unbroken. Vikrami, Ishwaro, Vikrami, Dhanvi. Now one meaning of Dhanvi is the one who wields a bow and arrow. That is called Dhanvi. But in different fields, your equipment will be different or not. A surgeon, he does not do bow and arrow. But how he wields his knife and all that. A writer, but how he wields his pen. Because the pen is mightier than sword also there. An orator, his speech is his equipment. You know that Chaudhariya was there who played the violin. 7 strings violin he made. Now they have in his memory that in Bangalore, you know, that whole hall is of the shape of violin only. So that is his instrument. And for a cricket batsman, bat and a bowler, that's right, they go on. Shine it. That the batsman, Samanya batsmen, they are afraid of that bowler and all because the way he will run. So in cricket, that in music, laboratories, you know, wherever your equipment will be different and you must know how to wield them. Ishwaro Vikrami Dhanvi Medhavi. Medhavi means intelligent. Medhavi means great. A person who has got the ability to remember, memory. Intelligent person. Ishwaro Vikrami Dhanvi Medhavi. So Vikrami, he will become Vikrami if he says Vikrama. So Vikrami means the person who establishes Vikram with different setting standards of quality. When he says that Vikram, then he is called a Vikrami. And Kramaha. Krama, one meaning of Krama is sequence. And Krama is what? There is a continuous progress in that. New records, new heights are scaled continuously. Not that 2 matches centuries, thereafter 10 matches 0. This is no way. So there is a continuous success in sequence. One after another. Greater and greater goal attached. Dynamic spirituality. Ishwaro Vikrami Dhanvi Medhavi Vikrama Kramaha Anuttamaha. Anuttama is unexcelled. Nobody is able to excel him. But it is standard is said, but that is the final one. He becomes unexcelled. That's why it's a pursuit of excellence. Duradharshaha. One meaning of Duradharsha. Fire also is called Duradharsha because you cannot touch it. You can't go anywhere near that. Duradharsha, that's someone who cannot be overpowered by anyone. That's called invincible. Like fire, you can't play with fire. Anuttamo Duradharshaha, and next is Krutajnaha. But remember, with all these things may be there, but he is most grateful. He has got the sense of gratitude because whatever achievement we may accomplish, but to do that, we require everybody's support and all that. So he is ever grateful to God, the teacher, the people, all the supporters, well-wishers, that one quality must be there. Kritajna, not becoming arrogant. Kritajnaha, krutihi. Now kruti means what? Any action, creation, product, any art piece, everything is called kruti. That's called masterpiece. And what happens? The master and masterpiece of that person becomes one only with that. When you reflect master, his masterpiece comes to your mind. If you see the masterpiece, then the master also you remember. So his every action becomes a masterpiece as it were. Not only one or two, but whatever is done by that person is a masterpiece. So it's got a stamp of that authority. All this because Atmavan. Atmavan means the one who has got perfect mastery over himself. Mastery over the mind, the senses, is called Atmavan. So, when you say the CHYK vision, how that chickster should be in life, should be like this. Ishvaro vikrami dhanvi medhavi vikramakramaha anuttamo duradharshaha kratnya kritiratmavan. Now every word is such that you can expound on that. In Vishnu Sahasranam, every word indicates the Lord, right? Because he is Ishvaraha vikrami dhanvi, there is no second opinion about that. But that Lord is in my heart. If you see whichever field I choose, there I must shine or not. So he is the Lord of that field. This is called dynamic spirituality. Okay? Now